Any story about the beginning must begin at the end. The time of the great forgetting, the grand spinning, maddening funhouse mirror of the sky, the turning and curious spinster eyeball of that mixed-up astral mutt, the zodiac, the clock that no one invented.
The time of calamity. The fires are burning and people are dying. In the hospitals and outside of the hospitals, they are dying. They are dying in the cars they used to flee the fires, and they are dying outside of the cars as well. Everywhere they are dying. The sky is turning red. The sky is very red now, redder than an apple or a blush or even blood. We never knew that color could be so bright. We never knew red could be so red. Will the sky ever be blue again? We don't know. We are sad and worried and nothing is comforting us. Not really. Not even yoga or meditation or eating right or a hug. There are no hugs now, true. But still, if there were hugs, they wouldn't really comfort us. Not long term, because we have no money and no place to live, and that is a worrisome affair indeed. In the ground there are evil things living. In the ground they are there, living, waiting to attack. They nest themselves into the plants that grow from the ground, that we then eat. We have poisoned the earth, so she can no longer speak, even when we listen. We waited too long to listen, and now it's too late. She can't talk like she used to. And even when we listen, we can't hear. And it's never all of us who are listening anyway. We are a divided people. We are a divided human race. Who knew any one species to be so committed to killing one another? Who knew any one species in the cosmos to be so driven to self-destruction? Will the pain ever stop? It's not just individual regrets anymore. It's not just the trauma of history and histories and her story and her stories. It's something else now. It's all of us together, and we cry because we really, truly don't know how to live, neither with each other nor with ourselves. How do we dismantle the monster that we have created? Are we the monster we have created? Are we the monster somebody else created? Are we the monster? How do we take apart these useless institutions that sit around like zombie elephants? We are killing the elephants too, though, so they won't even be able to live in our sayings and proverbs. When two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. We tell the children so they might live in peace. Some children ask, "What is an elephant?" Others ask, "What is peace?" How do we take down the structure of a civilization that does not work? Do we scorch the sky? Do we run away? Where? Do we poison the universe? With what poison? Has it been invented? Do we kill half of the species so the rest of us can desperately guzzle some more time and energy from the veins of our Earth Mother? Do we kill ourselves so that we don't have to live through the next few years? What can we do? The despair is so great, and the people so many, and when we talk about ceremony now, we don't even know how to begin. And that, already, is the beginning of an ending. We argue whether the ceremony should be in masks or not, who should be allowed to attend, whether these prayers are old enough or young enough, whether or not these words are correct. We argue, forgetting that all of the words around the ceremony are a prayer. They are a prayer. Even the arguments are the prayer. And that, yes, as the people used to go cry for visions in the mountains and the hills knew, some visions are worth dying for. Now we are dying visionless. We are dying. Even visionless, we are dying. We are dying without a vision, no longer dying for a vision in a beautiful way. We are just dying, just like that. Oh horror, oh horror. The people there are just dying, and there is no vision that is born and lives on. To receive a vision is to die a death and live a life. all at once. Some of us have always been lonely. Some of us have never been not hungry. Some of us are sad for the past and for the life that we will not experience ever anymore. Some of us have grown old in a very short time, and some of us have never been young. Not ever. Not even for one single day or minute or breath. Some of us can't breathe. For the injustice, for the fury, for the fire-red air that burns even the best ideas and the bones of the greatest idealists. Let that be a purge of the times. There is no space on earth for idealists anymore. Innocence has been lost and broken and taken away. This was true a long time ago as well, but now it is more than true. Now it is clear. Now it is the only clear thing, because the air and the water are dirty and will never be clear again. Not in our lifetime. Not in our children's lifetime. Not in any lifetime that we can imagine. The great annihilation we resist awaits. Who can we turn to for help? God is dead. We discovered that scientifically some time ago. Now they told us to turn to the earth, and we did. But how do you turn to somebody who you are killing with one hand and begging from with the other? What language do you speak? We can criticize and say, those other people are not doing it right. And then half of the energy of the ceremony is wasted on correcting those other people who refuse to be corrected anyway, who probably live in a different country and don't even speak our language. And then the ceremony is lost. It's getting crowded on this planet. It's getting hot. It's getting mighty uncomfortable. If there is a spirit of the human being, if there is that spirit, the spirit of that one, what was his name? What was it? A long time ago. That was a very, very long time ago. We don't remember him any longer. If there is indeed still a spirit of the human being, we wonder, where is that spirit? We wonder if that spirit is maybe sad and crying and exiled from some greater home that we can't even imagine, because this planet no longer feels like home. We are getting ready to launch to crack the skull of the great confused mystery of the enigmatic sky, even if we know we launch to our dead-end deaths, our visionless deaths. We only know how to survive. We know nothing else. We only know how to pretend. We know nothing else. We only know how to pretend to survive. We know nothing else. Survival is our whole philosophy in life, summed up in the theory of evolution that we argue about in courts of law. That's what humanity has been reduced to arguing about whether the Bible or Darwin were correct. As if it matters, as if God cares, as if that does anything in helping us recover the spirit of the human being, rather than just being right. Being right is what we like, along with pretense and survival. Survival and being right, that's pretty much it. Those are our hobbies, our extracurricular activities, our interests and passions. We have nothing else. We have been sad for so long. Joy is one of those stale, dead words in a moth-eaten dictionary that nobody reads, that nobody knows how to read anymore. They only know how to watch videos online. Nobody even knows how to look up the word joy in the old moth-eaten dictionary. Anyway, maybe joy is a word that was eaten by the moths, and so we can't find it anymore. Even if we ever did try to open that old dictionary eaten by creatures that surely have already flown away to another dimension, because we can't find any sign of life in our closets or kitchens or homes any longer. Because language has become the site of the latest war, building a dull thought complex where utilitarianism rules our relationships, we are no longer allowed to speak in a voice that expects to be received and understood. Language was once a gift from the gods, to be voiced, to be pronounced, to be expressed, to shape the magical words of the world with the holy, pleasurable chisel of our tongues, to kiss the beauty of vocalized butterflies that flew out from the orgasmic lip-smacking of speech. Now everything is an argument, a proof, a debate. Now everything is an advertisement or a complaint. This is a real violence, because the stars, they are missing our words, the sound of our voices. What a world, what a life. Where is the human spirit? Where has it been? Is it going anywhere? There was once a human spirit, many thousands of years ago. There was a human spirit. We had somebody on our side. We had somebody who was helping us, who believed that we could be more beautiful than even we knew ourselves to be. Somebody believed in us once. There was a spirit of the human once. There was somebody who believed in us for real. Now we are lost. Where can we go? It used to be that you would point to the horrors of a place and ask for help from another country. It used to be you could say, look what is happening in the Balkans. Look what is happening in Germany or Guatemala. Look what is happening in the Congo. Be outraged for us. Help us. Save us. Evacuate us now. Now, we are dispassionately throwing living human beings into the ocean because they don't fit into our countries and the water is big and empty of people. So we throw them in the water. They may die, but so what? So will everyone else. Everyone will die, some sooner and some later. Who cares when or how? And we might as well die. Visionless, of course, after building robots that will live forever and computers that will store and display advertisements for tennis shoes or the latest phone forever and ever and ever. Now everywhere is a tragedy, every politician a farce. There is no hope to look toward, no place to look forward to, no wise star to look up to, no reason to look up. Why look up? Everywhere is sad. The rivers still run through many countries, across borders, and their waters are dirty everywhere. Like the air, it flows and dances across the borders, and everywhere it is dirty. It's maybe a little less dirty in some places, and a little more dirty in others, but the fact is. And we like facts. They do well to stuff our heads like bird poop in that one corner of the building where all the pigeons roost. The fact is that the air is dirty everywhere. That is a fact, and it makes us feel sad. Everywhere is sad. Where is the human spirit? He used to be around. Many thousands of years ago, we had an ally, a big, powerful ally. Where is he now? Where is his magical sister bride, the star who sang the songs that gave him the vision to see how beautiful we could be? They were eternally in love. We remember that much. And because they were eternally in love, we were in love as well. Do you remember your first love? Do you recall the feeling? Do you remember how she looked at you? How innocent you both were? How beautiful you were to each other? How we long for that again, that innocence, that sweetness. How we long for somebody to look at us again in the way that says, I see the best in you. I see beauty in you. I see even that which you do not see in yourself. I see goodness. Do you remember what it feels like to have somebody see your goodness? That is how the spirit of the human looked at us, and his magical sister too. That is how they looked at us all the time. And they taught the stars to look at us that way. And they taught the sun to look at us that way. And they taught the moons to look at us that way. So that all of the time, the shining lights of hope, the brilliant beacons of radiance in the sky, they looked at us and admired our goodness. Now they can't see us anymore because the air is dirty, and we do not remember the last time we told the story of the spirit of the human and his magical sister. And there is nobody to witness our goodness, and there is nobody to witness. My goodness, no wonder we are too tired to feel. My goodness, no wonder we are sad in a sad moment that squeezes your heart in those final moments of the sun's death that day, when you are not sure you will see another birth of that reckless yet consistent fire king. It is a world war, now, a real world war. The ones that happened before, they weren't really world wars. They were about borders and land and ideology, but it wasn't the whole world at war. It wasn't the whole world on fire. There were places in those other wars, places you could escape to, free spaces, safe places, neutral countries. But now there is no place to escape to, no place to run away. The air is dirty everywhere, and so is the water. This is a real world war. There is no Switzerland anymore. No place to run, no place to hide. They tell us now, forever, to stay inside. No place to be free, no elusive freedom in another country. No golden opportunity in another place. Nothing anymore, nothing to believe, not even God. God was in churches, then God was everywhere. But now God is dirty like the air. There are too many languages for us to understand and explain and analyze exactly how and why this happened, and not enough languages for the wisdom of all to survive. We long for the spirit of the human being. He used to be around. We remember him. He was beautiful. He came with his sister, and together they taught us to be beautiful. They showed us how to live beautifully, and they believed in us always, all of the way, all of the many ways. They came, they gave us gifts, and we loved them. Where are they? Where are those ancestors of ours? All of our ancestors. Not my grandmother or yours, but ours. Not my people or your people, my culture or your culture, my history or your history. Ours. Our ancestors, the spirit of the human and his magical sister. Our grandmother, our grandfather, they came from the stars, they who fell in love with the people. Where are they? We only see the people in this war. They are trying to build more borders. They are trying to build more walls. They think that will save them. Some of them are building physical walls. They are saying, let's build the walls so that we stop the foreigners. We stop the aliens from coming into our houses and eating our cabbage and potatoes and rice and chicken and eggs. And have you felt what we are doing to the sacred chicken in our slaughterhouses? And the others, they are building mental walls. They are saying, we are different people than you. We are women and you are men. Or we are men and you are women. We are this color and you are that color. Or we are that color and you are this color. We are young and you are old. Or we are old and you are young. We are healthy and you are sick. Or we are sick and you are healthy. We are people from here and you are people from there. Or we are people from there and you are people from here. Everywhere they are building walls, and the walls are like knives cutting up raw meat, and the blood is flowing. It's the only clean river there is now, is that blood. The flowing river of blood from the cutting of prejudice into more prejudice. And we ask ourselves, we wonder, worried, why our children are cutting themselves. But we don't see it as us who are cutting ourselves first. We made it up, this cutting business, this war business, this border business, this division and segregation business. We did it first. We love dividing ourselves. Where is the spirit of the human being? Where is he? We miss him. He knew something about us. He knew something beautiful about us that we no longer remember or believe or even know how to seek. We have forgotten something important about how beautiful we can be.